First quarterfinal match is going to be Hunter x Hunter versus Death Note, and I'll go ahead and start it off. I think this one's pretty easy. Death Note, I think, only made it out of the first round because it was against Demon Slayer. Again, everything to parrot it again. I hated the ending of it so much that I almost didn't want to give it the win in the first round. While Hunter x Hunter is one of my favorite shows of all time, I don't think there's really much of a contest here, to be honest. I don't know. We'll go ahead and pass the mic in a second to see how Wagaruji feels, but I wholeheartedly am going for Hunter x Hunter. If I get disagreed with, I'm gonna have to fight to the death on this one. And I think I'm gonna end it at that. Yeah, my vote's for Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, honestly, I think our opinions were pretty clear in the first round. So I don't really need to go super in depth on this. But yeah, I agree with you. Hunter definitely takes this one. Death Note definitely only made it past the first round because it was up against Demon Slayer, and I think story-wise, the first half was just so good. But comparing it to a more complete story where the ending is not just complete garbage, obviously, the better story will win it for me. I am very story driven, and Hunter x Hunter just definitely blows Death Note's complete story out of the water. So, yeah, easy choice.
All right, so we got a winner here. First guy in the making it to the semifinals is going to be Hunter x Hunter. Going into the next round, it's gonna be Food Wars versus Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm gonna let Wagaruji take first swing at this.
All right, awesome. So, I think we're both pretty clear on what my choice is going to be. I was fairly passionate about this show in the last one, and I was definitely not passionate about the other. So, Food Wars is the clear choice for me in this one. It's newer, it's not as established, but I think just overall, it's so unique and exciting as a show that I definitely think it would be the better contender in future rounds, as well as it is just personally more enjoyable for me. Now, again, that's not to say Yu-Gi-Oh is a bad show. Very nostalgic about it, but Food Wars is just much more exciting in terms of comparisons here. So I think that's an easy choice for me, but we'll hear what Trap God has to say about that.
Okay, so as much as I loved Yu-Gi-Oh, and I feel like I praised Yu-Gi-Oh and Food Wars like to a comparable extent in the previous round, but I can't really just keep going throughout the whole thing having like the card game carry it because this is the anime. And although I had the card, that was a main point of mine in the first round is that the card game was amazing and I love it and it brings back a lot of nostalgia for me and everything. In the later rounds, we're gonna have to weigh heavily on the actual anime aspect because that's what the list is. And I think I'm gonna go with Food Wars. I mean, Food Wars is just the Yu-Gi-Oh anime wasn't insanely great. It was fun. It was fun, but that's what it was. It was fun. Food Wars is awesome. So much stuff going in. You would think that like an ecchi food show wouldn't be able to like evoke any sort of like emotion throughout it, but there's a lot of deep moments in Food Wars. Like there's some stuff that goes on. You see a lot of family drama with Erina and her father coming in, like when they have to do that whole tournament arc to save the school. They got to save their friends. Like there's just there's sometimes it pulls on your heartstrings a little bit. And I think that mainly like just the full completeness of like emotions in the show as opposed to Yu-Gi-Oh just being like, hey, let's go win these card games. I'm gonna go ahead and give the win to Food Wars as well. So second one making it into semifinals is gonna be Food Wars. And looks like it's my turn now to start it off with next quarterfinal is Mob Psycho 100 versus One Piece. And although I fought hard for Mob Psycho in the last one, I don't think that I can pick it over One Piece. I know I wasn't too hot on One Piece last time, but it's good. It's a good show, and it has a big track record. Like there's a big history of it being a great show, and it's as much as I think it's a solid show, like 8 out of 10. I think it's 8 out of 10 for all of the entirety of its moments, and not like in Dragon Ball when I was saying there's some bad arcs. There's a couple good arcs. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and appease the One Piece fan base, and I'm gonna give my win to them for this round.
All right, you don't even I like a Mob Psycho 100. I actually personally do like the show, as much as I was against it for it versus Naruto. I just don't think it stands up against like any of the big threes. But like, dude, it's One Piece. Like, bro, I'm sorry, Mob Psycho 100. I know this is the author. I forget his name, but the author of One Punch Man and Mob Psycho. Like, this is the actual story. But again, it's not even better than One Punch Man. Like, I'm sorry, this is just no contest. I feel bad for Mob Psycho 100 for getting put up against Naruto and then One Piece, but it's clearly One Piece.
I don't know, man. You're seeming like a pretty big Mob Psycho hater right now. And
Dude,
although
it's a good show, it's just not like better than Naruto or One Piece. I don't know what to say.
whatever you say, pal. Although Reagan can solo everyone in One Piece by himself, we're going to be giving the win to One Piece.
Okay,
And moving on to the next round, I'll let you take it away.
all right, it's Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's just got a better story. There are no bad moments. It has so many arcs in such a compact like show, but you know, even you yourself, a Jojos fan, a Trap God, you were talking about like, oh yeah, some of the arcs suck. Like, I didn't like this part, I didn't like this part. I don't remember a single part of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood that I did not like. It, like, even though I am a Jojos hater, I fully admit it. Like, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, just going by that fact alone, that there are no parts that I like you can remember that are bad in the show. Like, I feel like it knocks out on that point alone most of the shows in this bracket.
Okay, call to all my JoJo stands out there. Please flame him in the comments. Please flame him in the comments. I repeat one more time.
Go
flame
ahead.
him in the
You're
comments.
all wrong. You're all wrong. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, as much as I love JoJo's, it is one of my favorite shows ever. Full Metal Alchemist is higher in my rankings, so I'm going to give it to Full Metal Alchemist. But I wish JoJo's could have won this round. If it was against someone else, like if it was against Death Note, it would have won. If it was against Yu-Gi-Oh, I would have had it win. If it was against Mob Psycho, I would have fought for it to win. There's a lot of wins it could have had, but you know, the randomizer is she's a fickle bitch, all right, and she put him up against some heavy hitters, and
in all honesty, I agree with that. I could have won against a bunch of these shows, but no shot it beats Fullmetal Alchemist.
But sadly, the luck of the draw wasn't in its favor. So FMAB is moving on to the semifinals. Well, all right, Wagaruji, you can go ahead and take over for the first semifinal.
All right, so this one is actually a little tough for me, but only because I am a huge fan of like unique, like one-off type shows, and I feel like there's not many out there that, I mean, cooking shows in general, like there's a lot of like, I don't know, you go on social media, you see a ton of clips from different animes where like, look at how good this food looks and everything, but that's just like a one scene in the, like, that's not the point, right? So I find that Food Wars in and of itself, like its concept is extremely unique, and that makes it difficult for me. But I think overall, I just, again, it comes back to how many times I can rewatch a show, and Hunter x Hunter is just one of those shows for me. I could go back at any time and rewatch that show and enjoy it just as much as I did the first time. There's always something new that you like come to find out. There's always just that factor of like the suspense is always there for me when I come back to it. So I think in this one, unfortunately, even though I am a really big fan of Food Wars and its uniqueness, I think that Hunter x Hunter is going to take it back because it's a lot easier to pick up again and again and again and still enjoy it. You know, Food Wars, I've only seen it a couple times now, but I mean, I currently don't have a desire to go back and watch it again just because it is so much longer. So in this case, because of that, I am going to go ahead and give my vote to Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was well said. You gotta break it down like this way. Like Hunter x Hunter, we watched like it feels like a full journey, like just in the anime. I know it hasn't been fully adapted, but like from what we've seen, it felt like a full journey from Gon and Killua being just like little kids, you know what I mean? They're just like literal children coming out to try and be hunters, to all the way at the end when they have to work together to take out like the strongest creature we've seen in the entire show, like Meruem. And although they still are children at the end, literally, I guess, it feels like we followed them through like a big journey. Like we were there with them every step of the way in a long journey. And Food Wars, as you were saying earlier, like the rewatch value, I mean, I love every time a new Food Wars episode comes out and I'm excited to watch it, but I don't really see a lot of rewatch potential, like for myself, rewatching a cooking competition I've already seen. I feel like I know what happens, I know how they cook the food, and it was super cool watching it, but I don't necessarily want to watch the same cooking again. Like I want to watch them cook the same meals and know who wins and watch the pseudo suspense that I'm going to have because I already know the winner. Whereas Hunter x Hunter, like a lot of the arcs are just so cool and so like just deep, and like they have like a lot of depth to them that I can rewatch the show a lot of times. So I think we're in agreement on this one. We're going to go ahead and pass Hunter x Hunter to the next round. And this one's probably going to be one of the, if not for us, the biggest in the community split. We have One Piece versus FMAB, and I know people probably aren't going to be happy about looking at One Piece and FMAB being seated 11th and 15th, but just to remind you guys, this was randomized, so the seedings don't matter. But I already had my stance pretty solid on. I'm not like the biggest One Piece guy. I truly, deep down in my heart, think FMAB should take this round. It's a good, complete story. It's not like a lot of like with One Piece too. It's the pacing's better than Naruto, but it's still like I know that's a byproduct of how long the source material is. That's why there's so many like anime episodes and stuff like that. There's a lot of content he wanted to get into the story, but it's just so long, and it feels like FMAB just has like almost a comparable like story being told like when in volume, but it was shortened into much less time and effort to watch through and understand the whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and put my vote for FMAB, and I know we're going to have some pushback here, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic.
gotta get myself ready. So, yeah, the main argument against One Piece is obviously that it's too long. Now, in terms of Full Metal Alchemist, I truly was giving, I mean, obviously my first argument for it against Jujutsu Kaisen was that it's more established, but that doesn't apply here, seeing as how One Piece was there. It's been around since 1995 in the manga and 1999 for the anime. It was there. It is established. And looking at statistics, even One Piece has been in the top 3 anime of all time for large periods of time, even holding the most popular anime of all time spot. And just looking at that alone, I think it wins. But again, I'm a huge One Piece fanboy, as is clearly the case in a majority of this video. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is definitely like a clear and concise and set story. I feel like it's a lot easier to get into for a lot of people, but there's nothing new to expect from it. One Piece is obviously still going on, and it's getting into more and more exciting situations and arcs. Even currently, I believe a new episode released today. And new manga chapters are coming through all the time, and it is nearing its conclusion. We are finally getting to the point where One Piece is, everything is coming together. All of the established plot points are being fleshed out in their entirety, and I just think there's so much great, awesome new things to look forward to in terms of value of the show and like all of the new arcs and fights that are going on. And in terms of that, I feel like it definitely knocks Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood out of the water, seeing as how there's just new things to look for. I already know everything to expect from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's a great story, but it is complete, in terms of watchability currently. I feel like One Piece takes the cake. There's just the fact that there's new content to expect. My vote was going to One Piece from the beginning, so I got nothing else to say.
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and, sadly for my Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood fans, it pains me to say this one, but I think I'm going to concede it because next round I'm coming swinging. And with that, we have our final set for the best shonen anime of all time. We have Hunter x Hunter versus One Piece, and let me tell you the correct opinion here. It's going to be Hunter x Hunter all the way. I mean, we said it earlier, I'm not the hugest One Piece guy, but I did have so much fun watching Hunter x Hunter. I just feel like the characters are more likable to me. I'm more invested in going and Killua and their little journey than watching Luffy run around on his boat. But it's fun. Luffy's a good guy. He's a cool guy. Pretty powerful. But I just think that it's like just a better story for me. And I don't know, maybe I'm just not a big fan of like pirate stuff. Like I was never really a huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan. Maybe I just don't like the setting of it. It's not my favorite.
I'll compare the two.
I'm just saying the setting, like the setting of being like a pirate. They're both pirates.
Yeah, okay.
And so maybe I'm just not a big like pirate guy, but like the cool stuff that happens in Hunter x Hunter, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. But it's not in the Seven Seas. So My vote's gonna go for Hunter x Hunter, and with that, I think we can conclude the video here. So Hunter x Hunter wins, and we can all give
Okay,
our
dude.
buddy a hand over here. Oh, my bad. Okay, I'll pass it to you. You can go ahead and say your piece.
All right, so I've given my opinion on why One Piece is the greatest shonen anime of all time. But I think that right now only one point needs to be made. Looking at the watch charts for anime of the 2022 anime,
Oh God.
all of them in general, the number one show at a 9.06 is One Piece. And in the top 100, let's see. Sorry, still scrolling. Still scrolling. Ooh. Turns out Hunter x Hunter's not in the top 100. So anyway, I've been Wagaruji, Trap God Senpai. Let's see One Piece hit that final bracket there. And anyway, thank you for having me. It was a great time.
Okay, so right here, we're gonna go ahead and we'll see you next time. So it's been fun hanging out with you guys. I'm glad. Thanks for everyone for watching the video. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Subscribe. Leave a comment below if you disagreed with anything. Again, I'm going to be linking Wagaruji's channel in the description. So if you liked anything he had to say or his incorrect opinions, you can go follow and subscribe to his channel. So I want to thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, forgot to mention one more time that we did another tournament bracket on Wagaruji's channel, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and go check it out.